Hello, this is going to be what is your superpower? Pick a card. So we have four piles here, and so the first number one. If you pick number one is going to be this green Malachite pyramid with the New Beginnings card, and on that it says, "Time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings." It's in your hands right now to change your story. And then for pile number two is going to be this auric field card with the black tourlamine crystal. Your vibe is a gift. It is time to clear your auric field and protect it, purify and restore your energy. And then we have pile number three, if you choose that. This is ego death. With the citrine crystal. Ego can never really die. It can only be made conscious so that it no longer runs your life. Be mindful of it and don't allow it to limit you. And then pile number four, we have the rose quartz crystal with this rose beautiful things take time to grow card. And there's no need to rush. Allow yourself to grow at your own pace. So whatever pile you're drawn to, go ahead and go to that timestamp for that card, for that reading, and we'll go into what is your superpower. This is going to probably be a little bit different than what you're probably imagining it to be. Off of those cards, either pick it based on the crystal or pick it based on the image, whatever image you're drawn to. But understand, I hope you'll just take a few seconds to pick something that whichever one stands out to you the most. Pick that one, and I'll see you there, and I hope that you enjoy this reading. If you're not already a subscriber, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know any more information about me or connect to my other social media and stuff, all that's in the description below. So let's go ahead and head on into those readings. Hello, pile number one. Those of you that chose the green Malachite triangle or pyramid with the New Beginnings card. This is going to talk about what your superpower is. So right off the bat, hopefully you got a little bit of an indication off of that New Beginnings card, but if you didn't, what I can tell you is that you have the potential. Your superpower is the fact that you are a mover and a shaker, so to speak. You are literally able to, I think that you're able to see opportunities, and you have the confidence and the know-how to act on those opportunities as they come about. I really feel this greatly, and I feel like you're someone that is I have a feeling that if money doesn't come easily to you with this merchant card, if money doesn't come easy to you, it's all about the fact of I really feel like this talks about someone who has a lot of, if you don't have a lot of confidence, that you're able to fake it until you make it kind of mentality. That your superpower is able, as I said, your superpower is to be able to see opportunities for what they are and act on them in some way. That you have the potential, if you're not already, you have the potential to make to affect your world around you in some way by the actions you take. That you really can have a huge impact on the world by the fact that you're able to act on these opportunities. That for the most part, that you're not afraid you're not afraid of change, and you're not afraid of new beginnings. You're not afraid to take those leaps of faith and take action. You see this action card here. You're not afraid to take action when you see an opportunity, even if it scares you to death. But I also feel like, that you're a person that tends to either make friends easily or can communicate easily with others, where maybe people tend to gravitate towards you, that you just have this presence about you, that people come to you for things, that kind of thing, where we have this founder card, the community, and I feel like, with that warrior spirit, it's that ability to take action, that you have that confidence, that strength. And maybe, as I said, maybe you don't feel like you don't have that confidence and strength, but maybe it's only because you haven't fully, there might be something in play that has made you feel like you don't have the confidence that you should. Maybe something in your life has made you feel like you're not enough. But I'm here to tell you that if you pick this pile, you do have the ability to walk in the world this way if you choose to. It's just that there's something within inside you that has made you feel a little bit insecure, and that's why I kind of said that you have the ability to fake it until you make it, if you choose to. So that is really your decision. We even have here, I pulled a ruin for you, and that's the Mons ruin. And so that too, it talks about everything in this reading kind of ties together in the fact that you have the ability to actually have an impact in a large way, in the fact that if you so choose to, you can take advantage of opportunities that will lead to your security, that will lead to greater security, to lead to a comfortable life. If you're not there yet, it might be because of, there might be some insecurities that you have that has prevented you or held you back from taking those leaps of faith, jumping on those opportunities. But I have a feeling, if you really think about it and look back in your past and really take the time to think about it, you'll realize that you've had lots of opportunities, that you can look back at points in your life and say, you saw something, and if you would have acted on it, it could have led to something that would have been significant. But if you would have felt more confident to do something about it. But for those of you that do have that confidence to act on something, I think that you see great changes in your world. And you have, with this key card, I love how there's this keyhole here on this New Beginnings card that this key goes in. Like I said, I really feel like you have the potential to see. Your superpower is you see opportunities, and you know that you either know that you have the resources to jump on those, to take action and jump on those opportunities that you see. And I think you see opportunities that most people don't see. You see things that other people don't see, typically don't see. And you, for most of you out there, you feel like you have the resources or ability to take action on those opportunities, or you trust that you will have them, unless you have some insecurities in that arena. But as I was saying, I feel like you think that, for those of you that don't act on those opportunities, I think that you can look back in places in your life and see those opportunities that were there, that if you would have had more confidence in yourself and believed in yourself a little bit more, or believed in those opportunities that you saw, for whatever reason, whatever held you back, the Four of Cups, whatever kind of, the Four of Cups can be a little bit of regret. And I said that I see that as that, where you could have look at points in your life and said, if I would have jumped on that opportunity, it probably would have led to something good, but for whatever reason, you kept yourself from doing it, for whatever reason that was. But I really feel like, this group, this group one has this ability, to take action, to put in effort toward things that they see as great opportunities, and they see those great opportunities for what they are. And I think another big thing about this deck is connections. Like I said, I really feel like either people in that came to pile one, they either are, have an easy time making friends and talking to people, or making connections with people, or working with people, as working with the community, or finding the resources they need. I think that they have really good communication skills in some way, and I feel like that they put off an aura that is very approachable, that that you might have, even if you don't feel like that you're a good communicator. You notice that people, maybe gravitate towards you, because they. I think that there's something that you give off that people really are attracted to, and I think it's because you see things in a way that not everyone sees. I think that sometimes you might feel like you're the odd man out, or you're the black sheep, or whatever you want to describe yourself as being, like misunderstood. Maybe sometimes you feel misunderstood, pile one, because because you see things that other people don't see. And that's why I think people tend to gravitate towards you, or they want to work with you, because you see things in a way that other people don't see them. I don't think that I don't know that I want to pull anything else. I think that gave a really rounded reading for you guys. I don't think that I want to pull anything else. Yeah, I don't think I feel like pulling anything else. I pulled these cards ahead of time, because that was what I was moved to pull for this reading, and I think it worked really well. I think it got the point across, and I hope that resonated with you. You'll have to let me know down in the comments if that, if you pick this pile and that sounds about right, if it sounds right for you or not. I'd love to know, so feel free to leave any comments. I thank you so much for joining me, pile one, and I wish you the best. Joy, love, and light. Hello, pile two, and welcome to your reading. Thanks for joining me. This is if you picked the black Tourlamine with the auric field card here. This is going to be, what is your superpower? So for my pile two, my pile two people that came to join us, your superpower, what I'm getting off of these cards is your superpower is empathy, compassion, empathy. You are the type of person that either is extremely creative, or you're just you could be very sensitive. You have the potential to either you give good advice, or people seek you out for advice, because I believe that you have the tendency of being very honest and telling people how it is. I also feel like, you could be a healer, somebody in the healing industry. I believe that that's your superpower, though. Like, your superpower in this world is to be a healer of some kind, or a mentor, or because your creativity, your passion, your compassion, your with this auric field and veil card, I really am getting this sense of you're very spiritual in nature. I feel like this is my spiritual group, like people that just understand, like there's something bigger, there's something beyond, that any situation can be transformed, that I really feel like one of the things that I do want to talk about with this group, um, with this being your superpower, is that you have to be cautious about protecting your energy. So I have a feeling like the people in this group, that if you've been drawn to this pile, that you might struggle with finding balance between having time to yourself and like giving to others, because I have a feeling that you're the type of people, if you've come to this group, you probably are a giver, that you give a lot of yourself to other people. Almost like sometimes you almost might martyr yourself in a sense, like you're you mean well, but sometimes you overdo it, and sometimes you give so much of yourself that um you deplenish your energy. Okay. So just keep that in mind. If any of this is resonating with you, I think that it's very important for you as a person, to find balance and find that balance between, and maybe protect your energy even. Black tourlamine is talking about cleansing and grounding and things like that. And I think that that's very important for you, especially, I know I am deeply empathetic. I have deep empathy, and I can be extremely compassionate. I'm a healer myself. And people like us, if you fall into this category, you can give too much of yourself and wear yourself thin. And sometimes we have to learn how to protect ourselves and protect our energy and learn how to restore our energy, so that we have that energy to give to others, to help others in the way that we're meant to help, because that's our superpower, is to be able to help people in some way. But that comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of our energy to do so. So, and whether that, however you help people, but I really feel like, with this poet card, that vulnerability. And that's why I said I feel like this group are very creative people. I think they're very sensitive, they're very creative if you've come to this group. But that, don't look at that as a weakness. That is your strength. That's your superpower. That's what you've been, the power that you've been given to share in this world, to be that healer, to be that mentor, to be, a caregiver, to, those kind of aspects, and I feel like we're really good at not only understanding the spiritual world, but also being able to transmute and transform things in our lives, or help people transform or transmute things in their life, and this is what I kind of like, the fact that this hand of fate card came out, because it understands it. It says there's forces beyond our control that may intervene, but you still possess the freedom to choose how you respond. And I think that's what this group understands truly, that they understand that, even though there is maybe a bigger force, bigger than us out there, that is a player in the game, that we still have free will, and we still have the power to transform things within our lives. And like I said, I think, people seek you out because I think that the people that came to this group, that you're known to be very upstanding and very honest and very trustworthy people, and that's why people seek you out. They seek out your advice, or because they know that you're maybe compassionate, but sometimes, we, if you're that kind of a person, you can seek, people that, some of the wrong people can seek us out for the wrong reasons. Some people will want to take advantage of you, when you're a compassionate, kind person. And so that's where I said I really feel like what's really important here is balance, and finding the balance. And even this, for the essential oil card, you got the balance, lavender balance. It's talking about balance, and that that there is this need for balance, and but also understanding that that the universe has your back, that it has our back, and that there is something bigger than us. So I really feel like, I know this probably doesn't seem super long, and this wasn't meant to be super long, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that it resonated with you, and you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if you feel like this is, if that hits the mark for you, if that describes you, and if you, some people may not feel like how compassion and empathy can be a superpower, but it is because through that compassion and kindness, you're spreading that compassion and kindness in the world. You're there helping people, and that's your superpower, is your ability to help people, either help people overcome adversity in their life, or being that mentor, being that teacher, being that person that can be sympathetic to someone, or being that counselor, whatever it is, however and it doesn't have to be, that doesn't have to be your profession. It can be simply, you're a healer of some type. That's your superpower, is your ability to help heal people in some way, whether that's through your music, through your art, through your, through your counsel. You heal people in some way, and you're known to be honest and trustworthy. So take those strengths, understand those are your strengths, and as I said, I hope that if that resonates with you and that feels right for you, please let me know down in the comments below, because I'm loving how these are coming out, and I know they're not long, but I don't do a lot of pick a cards, but I was moved to do this because I thought it would be a lot of fun, and I hope that you're finding it fun too, a fun little different kind of pick a card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I wish you the best. Joy, love, and light. Hello, pile 3. If you picked pile 3, the ego death card with the citrine crystal, this is your pile. And what your superpower is basically charity, being charitable, being altruistic. That's what your superpower is. You're the type of person that will go over and beyond for people. I see this group, if you pick this pile, either you like to help people out, or you might volunteer your time, or I see, like, you either donate your time or your money or something to that effect, even if it's a smaller scale. Like you're that type of person that if someone's in need, you will be there to help them out. You're I feel like you're a very humble person. You're very altruistic, very charitable, very giving of yourself and your time and your skills. But I do have to say that I feel like you're a person that just kind of goes, with this flow card, that you go with the flow of things. You just kind of just go through life. You're pretty easygoing, laid back for the most part. Maybe you don't feel that way all the time, but everybody has their moods and phases. But I think for the most part, you kind of just let things kind of, you do your best as far as not getting too full of yourself, so to speak. But there is this, a little bit of caution here, and I see that this group does have to be careful that they don't let success go to their head, because there is this need with the ego death. There is this need for you, for this group to be very cautious of maybe time in the spotlight, that becoming a little bit, maybe a little bit too prideful, or possibly putting on a mask to the world, like trying to be something you're not. Because I feel like this group, that you'll suffer if you let success go to your head. Maybe, if you're the type of person that, I feel that this group has the ability with the celebration card that people want to celebrate you because of the acts of service that you provide. So there is this kind of need to be cautious, that when you're being celebrated, that you don't let that recognition kind of boost your ego. Because this group, it's all about, your superpower is your ability to give of yourself. Like I said, you're the charity of some type, where you either acts of service of some type, where you're giving your money, your time, your energy, your effort, something to help, either someone on a small scale. You might be that person that opens doors for people, or sees an elderly person and helps them across the street, or see somebody that, your neighbor needs their yard mowed, so you'll mow their yard without, even thinking about it, because you're that helpful person, that you like to help others. You're somebody that is that will, like I said, maybe will donate to charities, or you'll volunteer your time to a cause. I really feel like you can be very passionate about certain things. If there's something that you get behind, you're willing to fight for it and stand up for it, and push something that is a worthy cause, that you feel is a worthy cause, even to your own detriment at times, even though it might take a toll on you at times. So that's something to be aware of. As far as that's concerned, is to be very cautious, that one, that you're not overdoing it, that you're not taking on too much. Because I feel like you're the type of person that gives so much of yourself. Sometimes you can give too much, and that can cause yourself harm, or you might fall prey to becoming a little bit, the pride. You get your pride boosted, where you get out of that humble energy and become, like where you start enjoying that recognition, because it is a fine line. It's very hard sometimes, when you're getting recognized, and people are recognizing you, or your achievements, or what you have done, to not, it's okay to feel good about it, but to not let that go to your head, is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is don't let it go to your head. And then this is this is the card that I pulled. Is it's confidence is the card, but it's a step forward and be that bright light that you are. And I feel like that is you in a nutshell, that you are this very bright light, and I think people see that because of your generous nature. And so that's your superpower, is your generosity, your ability to give. And like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be monetary generosity, or buying gifts or whatever. That could be, it could be donating money, but it's also just the fact that you're charitable and giving of yourself in some way, shape, or form. You're very generous, very, very generous. As we have this chalice here, and it says generosity, and I really, really feel like, you are the type that would do or give anything, to help your fellow person out, you know. So there is, we kind of talked about those cautions to be aware of, you know. And sometimes you may want to hide from the world a little bit. I feel like, you know, this causes you some conflict at times, if you're drawn to this pile, and it's understandable because you will have people that might seek you out because you are generous. They might, you know, they might take advantage of you, and I feel like that's that Five of Wands there, is just, you know, the fact that there might be people that take it, that might try to take advantage of you, and that causes you some stress at times, you know, where sometimes you want to hide or be somebody other than you are. You want to hide that that part of you away sometimes, because you might you don't want to let you know, I think it's a hard line for you to walk sometimes, because it's by nature you're generous. That's your superpower. By nature you're generous and you're giving, but there's that part of you that knows that you need to protect yourself too, and so you do your best to go with the flow as much as you can, and know that you know, I think that that you go where you're needed. You know, I think that's where the flow card comes in, is you tend to go where you're needed. I really feel like you're the person that always roots for the underdog, that always remembers the forgotten, that always wants to help the forgotten, you know, to help stand up for inequities, and or, you know, fight for people that are downtrodden. You know, you're the person that is going to go over and beyond for others, you know, in some way. And that's what I feel like your superpower is, if you came to this pile 3. So you'll have to let me know in the comments below if that resonated with you, or if you feel like, you know, that rings true for you in some way, even if in a small way. You know, maybe you don't see this about yourself, and you're welcome to say something about that too in the comments, if this doesn't, you know, like maybe you don't feel like this is you, you know, but maybe you need to see yourself through other people's eyes. Maybe, you know, sometimes we can look at ourselves and we don't know who we really are, maybe because we see ourselves differently than the world sees us, or maybe we don't understand where we are. That's probably why you're coming to this reading, because you're like, what's my superpower? I want to know what my superpower is. Well, you know, maybe that's something you haven't really fully understood about yourself yet. You know, that maybe, you know, if this doesn't fully resonate, or you're like, no, I don't see that about myself, I bet you can if you sit and take the time, you'll probably think of ways. You know, I have a feeling that, you know, your love language, if you're in this pile, your love language tends to be acts of service. You know, I feel like this is my acts of service pile. You know, people that, like I said, that are very selfless, that are willing to help others in some capacity, always helping out the downtrodden, the underdogs, you know, trying to help people better, you know, do something to improve either someone's life or in some way, you know, just very charitable, very giving, generous people, you know. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, I hope you'll hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I thank you so much for joining me. Joy, love, and light. Hello, pile number 4. Hello and welcome. This is if you picked the rose quartz crystal and the beautiful things take time to grow card as your superpower. Your superpower is very interesting. So, in don't shoot the messenger here, because please listen and hear me out on this, because it's not maybe going to be as glorified as you think, but we'll go ahead and dive in here. So your superpower is your ability to grow, to learn, to grow. I feel like the people that chose this pile, you are people that can overcome adversity in your life. You have had a very difficult life. Had a very challenging life, but I feel like that is because it was meant to happen so that you could slowly transcend and grow. Okay, so don't sell that short, because a lot there's people out there that have a hard time overcome adversity, and when you're put through difficult challenging situations, and you're able to overcome that, that makes you a stronger person. But on the back, one of the other aspects of that is, sometimes it can make us tend to make someone, when you've been through a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, sometimes it makes it hard for us to accept help for others, because we're so used to, we might become too used to overcoming adversity on our own, because we learn to be this very strong person. So essentially, your superpower, group 4, pile 4, is inner strength. Okay, so understand that your superpower is your inner strength. However, now, because of the fact that everybody that has come to this pile may be in different places on that journey, we have beautiful things take time to grow. People that have chosen this, if you've chosen this pile, you're on this journey. This is your superpower, your inner strength. And some people are at the point where they have had a lot of trials and tribulations in their life, and they now have a lot of inner strength. And there's people that will come to this pile that are not aware of this aspect of themselves. Maybe they haven't gone through everything that they're meant to go through in this lifetime to develop this inner strength that they will have. So, but the key thing here is to believe in yourself, because I believe that this is the pile that either needs to overcome victimhood of some type. So maybe you have been put in a place where, with this say it card, it says, say what you're afraid to say. If you express what you've been hiding, it will give you the peace you seek. So there's some people that have come to this pile that have not expressed themselves yet, that they're still they're still afraid to speak their truth. They still haven't overcome everything they need to overcome yet to realize how strong they truly are, to understand that it's okay, that they can share their trauma, their experiences with others, and understand that through that the experiences that you've had that have helped you grow your inner strength, by sharing those with the world, your situations, your stories, by saying it aloud and sharing that, you can help others. You can share your strength with other people, or be that kind of beacon in the fact that someone can look at you and look at your story, kind of either a rags to riches kind of situation, or someone that has overcome experience, great circumstance, or great challenges, where you can almost be a mentor in a way for other people, or a, what's the word I'm looking for, kind of like a role model. That's what I was trying to get at. And maybe you don't look at yourself as a role model, but but you can help other people through your story. Like, they see what you've overcome, and it helps give them the strength to get through the things that are in their life. Or it might, just by what you've overcome in your story, someone sees your life or hears about your life and your story, and they go, oh my gosh, okay, my life isn't as bad. And so it helps them to get in it helps other people be more grateful for the experience they've had on this world, because they realize, oh my gosh, I have not had it as bad as them, which helps. Funny that we have this compassion card, and I think that's what you help foster in other people, is that they feel compassion for you and the story, your experience, what you've had to go through. It brings out the compassion in other people, and you see, and it helps heal other people. Not only are you healing yourself, that rose quartz can talk about healing, and I love that the rose card came out for you guys here too, because I really feel like, that in a way, you do help other people, but it's in a very more kind of a passive way. You're not, it's not like a necessarily, just by being you and going through your life, your experience is helping other people just by hearing your story. And I think that's one of the things that is really, really, like, it's really wanting to call out here, is that your story matters. The trials and tribulations and adversities that you have gone through, the difficulties that you have gone through, it has made you a stronger person. But you need to speak up. This is, you got the King of Swords in reverse. And so this, it kind of tells me that, you might have, because of the situations that you've been through, either you might be afraid to speak your truth, or maybe, you're still struggling to overcome some of these adversities, and that's okay, because we're, in your own time. It's in your own time. But the main thing is, if you came to this, you came to know your superpower. In your superpower is your inner strength. And if you're not there yet, know that is your superpower, and you will get there, in your own time, in your own way, and because you have the journey that you're meant to travel on. And as no one would want to hear that you might, live difficult situations, I think that this pile tends to have had greater, more challenges than maybe most people out there have had to deal with. And I mean, on a grander scale, everybody has trials and tribulations they go through in life. Everybody has things that they experience. But these are people that have, like I said, are almost like your rags to riches stories. These are people, if you're here in this pile, you have the potential, if you're not there already, to have that rags to riches story. You have the power inside of you to overcome almost anything that you set your mind to. I feel like you have great determination, as seen on the Sentinel card. It says determination, and I feel like this group, they have a lot of strength, a lot of determination, a lot of willpower. They're the pile. You're the people that are gonna grow the most, like, and transform a lot of. I think these are the people that have come down to this planet. If you're here, this was a difficult life for you, and it was meant to be, because I think that you're breaking a lot of, maybe clearing a lot of karmic cycles in your life, or in healing, maybe healing generational wounds, something to that effect. That I really feel like these people here, if you're coming to pile 4, you're almost like maybe my what's the word I was like, you might be in a way light workers to some capacity, but I feel like, you're only going to become that light worker if you share your story. When you get to the point where you have, and a good example of this is like, I can use myself in a sense of this, is I have overcome a lot of trauma in my life in different capacities, but I used that trauma to grow. I used it because I've overcome a lot of adversity. Well, now I'm here sharing my gifts with all y'all. I'm here sharing these gifts with you guys, to help you. I'm out here using what I've learned through my journey, through the adversity, through the difficult times that I've had to overcome, the challenges I've had to face, and a lot of people don't know, all the growth that I've had to go through in my life. That's something I'm I have shared to people out there. I have shared my story. This isn't the platform that I share that kind of stuff with. It would be more on a personal level than on a grand scheme. But because of those experiences and my inner strength, I can overcome a lot. A lot more than I can handle a lot. I can overcome a lot, that some people aren't able to. They don't have that inner strength. They don't have that, ability to rise up from something that extremely difficult. So these are like your people, like, you might be, to give examples, these are people that might be, end up being homeless and have, come back and able to pick themselves and get themselves out of that situation and become something great. Or someone that has, maybe as a child was a victim of abuse, and out of that abuse, they've turned their life around and used that in some way to do good. They didn't let those bad negative things in their life hold them down and hold them back from accomplishing something significant in their lives. Okay, so that's how you're going to know if this really this pile resonates with you, and if this fits you. But that would be your superpower, is your inner strength. So I hope that you enjoyed this message. I hope that it resonated with you, and if it didn't, feel free to pick one of the other piles. Feel free to listen to the other piles, and see what they're about, because each one's definitely different. But that's what I have for you, and I hope you'll leave any comments down below, whether that's to tell me that I'm full of it, or I hope it'll be positive, but to share if it resonated, if you see yourself as this, if it fits for you. Also welcome any comments to things you'd like to see, readings you'd like to see, or whatever. I'm always open to suggestions, and if something resonates and feels right for me, then I'll do it for you guys. If I hope you'll hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll consider subscribing, even though I don't put as much content out as other readers out there, but I'd love to have you join me on my channel. So I thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. I wish you the best joy, love, and light.